Welcome to the Leaders Insights podcast. Today's episode, why most data culture initiatives fail before they start. Most CDOs I speak to have launched a data culture program at some point. Almost none of them can tell me it worked. Why is failure the default outcome here?
Because the initiative usually starts with the wrong diagnosis. Organizations see poor data adoption and conclude they need better tools, cleaner dashboards, maybe a data literacy training program. So they spend 18 months rolling out a new platform, run a few lunch and learns, and then wonder why analysts are still being ignored in business meetings. The problem was never the tools.
So what is the actual problem?
Incentives. People behave according to what gets them promoted, praised, or protected. If a sales director at a company like Schneider Electric builds their entire quarter around gut instinct, and it works, nobody is rewarding them for also consulting the demand forecast model. The model becomes decoration. Until you change what behavior is rewarded, the culture doesn't move.
That's a structural argument, not a culture argument. Are you saying CDOs are solving the wrong problem entirely?
Partially, culture is downstream of structure. The way Spotify approached this around 2023 and 2024 was instructive. They embedded data fluency expectations directly into performance reviews for product managers, not as a checkbox, but as a weighted criterion. By 2026, they report substantially higher rates of model-informed product decisions. That's not a culture program. That's an operating model change that produced a culture shift as a byproduct.
But most companies aren't Spotify. A traditional manufacturer or insurer doesn't have that kind of organizational agility. What's realistic?
Start with one business unit where the leader is already a believer. Don't try to convert the whole organization. Pick a P&L owner who wants to use data as a competitive weapon. Give them a dedicated data team with a direct line into their decisions, and let the results speak. McKinsey's research, and I'll flag this, is vendor adjacent, so take it with some skepticism, suggests that pilot units with embedded data teams outperform control groups by 15 to 20% on operational KPIs within 12 months. That kind of visible win is worth more than any all-hands presentation on data strategy.
And the CDO's role in that? Because historically, the CDO sits in IT or in a staff function, not close to the P&L.
That's exactly where the role has to evolve. The CDOs gaining influence in 2026 are the ones who've repositioned themselves as business partners rather than data custodians. They're sitting in on pricing discussions, supply chain reviews, customer retention calls. They're not presenting data. They're co-owning decisions. The ones still defending governance frameworks in isolation are being quietly sidelined.
Final question. One thing a CDO should do differently starting Monday morning.
Find the most skeptical senior business leader in your organization and ask them what decision they're about to make. Then show up with something useful for that specific decision. Not a strategy deck, one decision. Build trust at that resolution.
To go further, Leaders Insights offers strategic training programs, diagnostic tools, and an executive self-assessment designed for CMOs, CDOs, CFOs, and leaders aiming for board-level performance. Explore everything at mba-training.com. Thank you for listening to the Leaders Insights podcast. See you tomorrow for another episode.